Yes, ma'am. Now you can.
So once I connect with it, I'll make you host so that you can control the screen.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Make the host, yes. So what we do over here is there are multiple options to get a wide angle shot, especially with big cats. What we do is we spend a lot of time with them. With this particular one, I think I spent 2.5 days with them to get that familiar feeling. Then we attach the monopod along with the camera, put it up upside down through the windows so that when during the daytime, when the sun is up, the animals kind of approach the vehicle to be in the shadow. And when they see some external element other than the vehicle, they are always very curious. So that's when they sniff around the camera. Sometimes they lick the camera. Sometimes they try to bite it and try to snatch away the camera. So all these things happens. But then the moments, if you manage to save the camera, you get some nice moments. This one was trying to hide next to a vehicle right before an attack, and they managed to kill Vado. This was again one of the finalists in BBC. This is Malaika along with her two cubs. The lady in the back in the horizon, she's known as Malaika, and this is her two boys. And I think maybe the framing was what made it to the finalist on WPY, Wildlife Photographer of the Year. This is one of my favorite. Um, you know, lioness, even though they don't have that mane and the look of it, they are so powerful, and they are the breadwinners when it comes to lion pride. They hunt most of the time, and even though they hunt, they get to eat only in the end. First, even if the lioness is going to make the kill, the lion will eat first, then the cubs will join, and then only the lioness get a chance to share the meal. It's not fair, but unfortunately, that is the way it is. And again, it's a Bahati, got a closer one. Now, you don't have to show, every part of the image or the species to capture a scene. This is a full frame image which shows the story of a leopard. On that note, I know I took double the time, I think. So thank you for the opportunity. Let's see if you have any questions, and then we'll proceed.
That was wonderful, ma'am. We went through all the pictures. It was so beautiful, and still these pictures are connecting, and they are still in our mind. We'll keep it for years. And now it's the opportunity for all the audience, all the 20 audience here out. So you can go for the questions. If you have any questions to ask with ma'am, or you need to share anything, it's time for you guys. Anyone?
Good guys.
You can post it in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself.
And ask. That's
Anything.
better rather than.
So here
Yeah.
is one question
Dear
from
participants,
Nish
if you have
Kumar.
any questions, please put it in the chat box. I will unmute you and you can ask.
Okay, thank you, Prem. Here is one question from Vignesh Kumar, ma'am. Ma'am, what will be the shutter speed to capture cheetah on action?
I used something above 2000 because they are the fastest animal. And the key is try to focus on the face and try to pan it, and keep your focus. Think about the frame. I know it is a bit difficult, but that the framing is very important. Plus the shutter speed. I always, even during for action sequence, I use aperture priority. and try to keep an eye always on the shutter speed, so that I understand that I'm getting the right shutter speed and the right depth of field.
Thank you, ma'am. Vignesh Kumar, hope you got the answer. And the next question is from Aarti, Road Tractor Aarti. I have a question. What are the challenges you faced while taking those wonderful shots?
Um, Challenges is, see, I don't know. For me, it's not a challenge. You know, the time you spend in the wild is like it's a learning experience. Every image you see is a learning experience. Waiting is one thing, and when you are going out in the field along with your guest, some of them are willing to wait, and some of them it's very difficult to convince people to wait. So that is one challenge. It is not from the animal side, it's from the human side. Um, from animal side, I don't think it is challenge. So the more you wait, the better possibility to see something and to learn something. Their world is fabulous, way, way, way better than us. There is no corruption. So each moment you spend with them, you will learn something. Understanding, see, in wildlife, it's about two things: understanding the basics, as I mentioned: aperture, shutter speed, ISO, Kelvin, exposure. These five elements you understand, you need to change all these things without even your eyes closed. That is very important. Then only you will be able to change all these things when something happens. That's point number one. Second is practice. There is no shortcut. You have to practice, if possible, at least an hour every day. And if you are a beginner, don't think about wildlife photography only. Do everything possible for 1 to 2 years time. So you will understand what is your interest, what is the place where you can make a mark, and go according to that.
Thank you, ma'am. We have another one person, Mr. Prabhu MK. Sir, if you need to ask anything, you can unmute yourself and ask, sir.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, Prabhu.
If you have a tele-lens, if kind of 600 mm lens, so if subject is getting closer to us,
Mhm.
so what do we do at the time, ma'am? So we can't zoom and zoom out, right, ma'am? So
No.
at the time,
See, when there is two options. Whenever we travel, we have I carry three lenses and two bodies with me. It's usually when I change from 600 mm to a 400 mm, and I occasionally use 600 mm too, depending on the location. So whichever prime lens you are using, we'll be using. Start if the subject is coming closer from the wide angle, we go on. I mean, from the portrait landscape mode, we go on portrait mode, so we get the straight coming. Even if it is coming closer, I in my case, I usually don't change the lens. I'll still try to capture the headshot. Beyond that extent, when it goes, we'll keep the other camera in a place where we can take it easily and continue on the vertical side. So this is what I do in a normal scenario. Keep the second camera handy so that you can switch between the cameras. That's important. So going wide first to show the habitat and horizontal frame. When it is coming closer, you go like this. If it is going back, you go wide and again. So you show the face, you show the action, and you show the behavior.
thank you, ma'am.
Pleasure.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. That was a great question. And the next question is from Rishivats. In your experience, you would have waited for so long, maybe for days, to get a perfect time click. Which one was that? And can you show the picture, if possible?
Yeah, see that particular. I this was not the shot I was just looking. This is one shot. Definitely, we spent around 2.5 days uh, for that. And for this particular picture, I was following this bird. I'm not talking about this particular bird, but this species for almost 3 years. I have a pretty decent collection of rollers going left, right, and center. But so far from my collection, this is one of my favorite. When it comes to lions, I mean, among cheetah, definitely this is one of my favorite. And when it comes to lions, see, this is not called favorite, my dear. It is about it's about that moment. You may, it is the story behind the particular sequence. And here, as I mentioned, my intention was not to get a head-on shot of a lion, but my intention was to get what do you call lion shaking the head in the rain. And what I got was this. And there is one more shot, but unfortunately I forgot to put it in this. That was the lion standing right in front of a rainbow. Sorry for that. So moments, I still dream about capturing a lion in the rain, shaking his head, looking at me. I'm not saying people haven't shot it already, but it's still my dream. And backlight pictures, it's always given extra feel to it, especially if they are cups, because